Welcome back, everyone. As we enter the final lesson of Module 7, let's take a moment to reflect on the analytical journey we've taken. We began by laying a solid foundation in Lesson 1, exploring what social media analytics really means, from tracking engagement and reach to mapping sentiment shifts and consumer behavior. We discussed why social data is now considered the most underleveraged asset in modern marketing. In Lesson 2, we expanded our lens to examine how AI is radically transforming this field. No longer limited to post campaign reviews, analytics now operate in real time. We can forecast which content will trend, identify crises before they erupt, and decode emojis, memes, and sarcasm using sophisticated natural language processing. And just yesterday in Lesson 3, we turned our attention to the tools. From Sprinkler's enterprise-grade dashboards to Hootsuite and Keyhole's mid-market solutions, we mapped out how different platforms embed AI into listening, analyzing, and visualizing the entire spectrum of social performance. But what's the point of all this data if we don't act on it? That's our focus today. Lesson 4 is about turning analytics into strategy. It's where the numbers meet the narrative, and where insight becomes impact. Rethinking content strategy. What works, why it works, and how to scale it. Let's begin with content, the core of any social media presence. Most brands produce a vast array of posts. Some do well, others flop, and many sit in the middle, mediocre, unmemorable. But what separates the winners from the forgettable? The answer, increasingly, comes from AI-augmented content strategy audits. Start by filtering your past posts by engagement rate. Don't get distracted by likes or views alone. What matters is how deeply users interact. Use your analytics platform to rank content by engagement efficiency. Which posts sparked not just likes, but shares and meaningful comments? Once you have your top performers, ask, what do they have in common? Let me offer an example. A B2B SaaS company found that their LinkedIn carousels with clear stats and infographics generated 3 times more engagement than plain text thought leadership. So what did they do? They fed that insight into Canva's AI design assistant, which generated new post variations based on the visual style and structure of previous winners. Now flip the lens. What about underperformers? Say your short-form videos are hitting only 5% engagement, while your benchmark is 12%. The AI might recommend a micro adjustment. Add captions. Data shows 85% of your audience watches without sound. That's a high ROI fix, with very little lift. This kind of diagnose and adjust cycle, powered by AI and executed by humans, is how modern content teams win. In fact, I recommend setting a 90-day content optimization cycle. Here's the structure. Month 1. Audit. Run a full postmortem on the last 3 months. Identify the top 5% of content and establish clear performance benchmarks. Month 2. Experiment. Test 3 new content types or formats: animated infographics, carousel stories, or even interactive polls. Month 3. Scale. Double down on the winners. Automate their scheduling, repurpose top posts into new formats. This cycle is not optional anymore. In today's data-saturated environment, guesswork is a liability. Strategy needs to be data-led, and content needs to earn its place. Audience segmentation. Speaking to the right people the right way. Once content is optimized, the next question is, who is it really resonating with? This brings us to audience segmentation, and here's where AI changes the game completely. Imagine uploading 100,000 follower profiles into an analytics tool. What emerges is not a monolith, but clusters, each with distinct attributes, behaviors, and affinities. AI identifies not just demographics, but psychographics and interaction styles. Cluster 1 might be fitness moms age 30-45. Cluster 2, Gen Z gamers obsessed with retro aesthetics. From this point, content stops being one size fits all. For Cluster 1, your 7 a.m. post might feature a quick meal prep reel and a wellness quote. For Cluster 2, meme-style gaming crossovers with high-energy captions dropped at midnight. And you don't need to do this manually. Tools like Facebook Audience Insights, when paired with AI models like ChatGPT, can generate full persona profiles, content themes, and even tone of voice suggestions. The insight here is powerful. Not all followers are created equal, and segmentation lets you meet people where they are, in mindset, in lifestyle, and in motivation. Benchmarking competitors, knowing where you stand and where to strike. Next, let's talk competitive intelligence. AI-enabled social analytics platforms now scrape and analyze not only your content, but that of your rivals. This means you can benchmark your performance against industry norms, or even direct competitors. Let's say you discover your click-through rate is 2%, but leading competitors are averaging 5%. That's not just a stat, it's a strategic red flag. Maybe your call to action needs testing. Maybe your thumbnail image isn't earning attention. Or maybe, as one fintech brand discovered, the issue was timing. Their competitors posted at 8 a.m. while they went live at 2 p.m. AI highlighted the discrepancy. A simple change yielded a 30% lift in CTR. Take Airbnb's strategy. The company used hashtag and content gap analysis to identify that their competitors, largely hotel chains, were ignoring digital nomads. Airbnb seized the moment, launched the Nox Work from Anywhere campaign, and dominated the conversation for that market segment. Remember, the battle for visibility is relative. You don't need to outperform everyone, you just need to outperform those who share your audience. ROI, the ultimate scorecard. Finally, all of this means little without return on investment. ROI. Here's the classic formula, just to ground us. Social media ROI. Profit from campaign. Ad spend. Ad spend x 100. But this formula becomes exponentially more useful when AI handles attribution. Let's say you're running a multi-channel campaign. A user sees your Instagram story, clicks through a Facebook ad later, and finally buys after receiving an email. Which channel gets the credit? This is the problem with last-click attribution. AI platforms like HubSpot and Impact.com solve this by assigning weighted value to each touchpoint. You no longer have to guess. You can even integrate promo codes and UTM tags to assign revenue precisely. So if your new influencer campaign drove $100,000 in profit, and the total investment, ads, assets, and fees, was $25,000, your ROI is 300%. AI ensures that attribution is accurate, not anecdotal. And here's the final twist. These insights don't only measure performance, they guide your next campaign. If TikTok drove awareness but not conversions, maybe next time you use it as a top-of-funnel tool and retarget via email or search ads. Proactive strategy, real-time decisions, and crisis readiness. Let me close with a final point. Analytics are not just retrospective, they're proactive. Many tools now offer real-time sentiment monitoring. If something's going wrong, the system doesn't wait for Monday's report. It pings your Slack immediately. You can build a crisis protocol around this. Pre-approved response templates, PR escalation channels, post-crisis sentiment reviews. Case in point, Starbucks once caught a social backlash around sustainability. Plastic usage was trending negatively. Their AI tool detected the sentiment shift early. Within hours, they posted a behind-the-scenes video on compostable materials and turned a crisis into a values-driven narrative. Analytics are your early warning system. Use them that way. Strategy is a feedback loop. So what's the real takeaway? Strategy is not static. It's a loop. You listen, you test, you measure, you refine. With social media analytics, and especially with AI at your side, this loop becomes tighter, faster, and smarter. The future of marketing doesn't belong to the loudest voice in the room. It belongs to the brand that listens the best, learns the fastest, and acts with the most precision. As we wrap this module, I encourage you to audit your last campaign. Pick one channel, one objective. Apply the techniques we've discussed. Use AI where it helps. Reflect where it fails. Iterate intelligently. In our next module, we'll shift to ethics and privacy in AI-driven social media marketing. Until then, keep listening. The data is speaking. Thank you.